is not today's price.
You goddamn right it's not, yo. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody out there on YouTube. Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to everybody out there, man. Yo, get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are going to break a little bit of this game down. Haven't seen you guys all week. I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. It is getting tougher and tougher to cover this team, man. This team has not been good, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. You know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling refreshed. Salute to everybody in the chat. Good evening. Good evening. Listen, you guys know how we do. We do not rock unless there is 100 in the room, and that's just what it is, man. That is just what it is. But you know, I couldn't leave you guys without some content. Could not do it, bro. I had to make sure that my people were good. We got to keep everything rolling. We got to keep the channel rolling, man. So listen, man. Everybody that's out on Twitter, everybody that is there. Wait, hold on. Everybody that is here today, I just want you guys to know to tell a friend and tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media. I'm about to share this live on Twitter, and we're about to get cooking, you know, relatively quickly. We are about to get cooking relatively quickly, everybody. Salute, man. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. We, you know, have forgotten to share this thing out over there or on all our people on Twitter. So I'm getting that linked up right now. But yo, there's a lot that's going on. We got pressers going on, guys. We have a lot of questions about what we're going to see this week. The offensive line. We have some questions about the coaching staff. You know, it's a lot going on here, man. But I want to give my shout outs and salutations to everybody in the room. Salute to K Dawson. Yo, Raider B 890. Yo, my guy, Joey Ibarra. Demokes is in the freaking place, man. Prom Reserve Boost is in the place. Yo, Alkeem is in the place to be. Wasted is definitely awake, man. Yo, salute and hopefully everything works out for my brother Raider Bubba. He says, Nation, got a sick kid at home tonight. Not sure I'll be here tonight. Just wanted to check in and say, hey, everyone. Yo, Bubba, listen, man, family first, my brother. You know what I mean? I hope everything is all right with the kid. And guys, we got over 100 in the room. But listen, I'm praying that everything is all right with the kid, man, for real. Praying, yo. Yo, my God, Straw. So thank God for Wasted Streams. Work really kicked my ass this week with these bum-ass Raiders. That's a fact, man. Salute to Erica Ramos, man. Yo, we going to get the coffee ready. We are going to be in the place to be. Yo, we saw the Texans get 8 sacks yesterday. The Broncos had 9 sacks in one game. How many for the Browns Sunday with Myles Garrett? Bro, look, I'm going to be real with you. Myles Garrett might mess around and do some Derek Thomas shit and get 6 on us. Like, we got to be 100% real here, man. Like, yo, this is the toughest defense we faced all year. This is really the toughest defense we faced all year. Now, listen, the record won't tell you that. They are 2-8, just like us. They are a team that has struggled to win, but it's because of the offense. And then, you know, with the Raiders hosting the Browns, everything looks like it is lining up for the Raiders to have, you know, some hope, right? But then a backup quarterback is playing against the Raiders, and we know how the Raiders do against backup quarterbacks. It is never a good thing when the Raiders are playing backups, and we are not just playing any backup. We are going to be playing Shadeur Sanders, and my brother Hug Dees is in the place, man. Hug Dees is actually out there right now in Las Vegas. He will be at the game, and he said, yo, Wasted in Vegas right now, carrying around a Christian Louboutin bag. Wifey has officially lost it while shopping. Yes. But you know what? She is very stylish for that. Salute to Miss Hug D's. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of respect for her gangster with that, man. So, guys, listen, man, we're in a situation where, you know, Pete Carroll and Gino Smith are right smack dab in the middle of the exact same scenario we were in last year with Antonio Pierce, right? Pete Carroll, 10 games with Gino Smith is 2-8, and they have a 9.8 negative 9.8 point differential with games. So they're in the negative. And through 10 games last season with Antonio Pierce and Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. He was 2-8 with a negative 9.8 points a game differential. So we're in the same situation, man. And we got to ask ourselves, how do the Raiders put themselves in a situation where they can win? How do the Raiders get in a situation where they can stop Myles Garrett? How do we do that? How do we do that, man? Yo, my guy Hug D's. I did get a 6 salute to service Brock Bowers. Yo, salute. Yo, my God. My dog grab it. Until we face the Texans, I know, right? Will Anderson and them boys are not messing around, bro. But the Cleveland Browns defense is for real. And Myles Garrett is for real. And we have a hole in a bucket called an offensive line. It is going to be a situation where if Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly and all of the people that are in the Raiders building don't do something drastically different than what they've done all season, this could be a bloodbath from a sack standpoint. Now, for some of you guys that are out there that are looking for someone to blame for this, we could blame Gino. You know, we saw that go viral and take off, and that's been pretty fun, right? But if you want to blame anybody for this is the coach, and this is his loyalty to a quarterback who's not cutting the mustard, and also to his sons, man. His son is the passing game director, and the other one is the offensive line coach and run game director. And at this point, we got to put some blame on John Spytek too for assembling this group of bums and rolling them out there every day and telling us that that's going to get it done. And I'm not talking about the starters, man. The starting group is a group that you could have a little faith in had you left everybody where they belong, but they didn't do that, right? And now we're in a situation where they have to put perfume on shit and roll out guys that probably still shouldn't be in the league. Guys like Alex Kappa should not be on this roster. There were other choices, right? Guys like Will Putnam maybe can make your roster. But for the most part, there should be no metric to which Stone Forsythe should be your failsafe if you lose your left tackle. So where are we going to go with this, right? A bloodbath by sacks is wow. Hey, bro, listen, man, it can happen. It can happen. And I'm going to tell you just like this, Graphic Raider. You effing bum, you. You effing filthy bum. I mean, you're coming in with your nonsense. Your effing nonsense. My man showed me his sneaker choice for the night. And you know what? Salute. That was a pair that I have not seen before, Graf. You know, it's very hard to stump the wasted one when it comes to kicks. That is a pair I've never seen before, and I like. I don't know if I would have matched them up with the shirt, but the kicks are clean, bro. Salute to you. Clean shirt too, bro. I don't know if I would have did that much of that color, but I fuck with what you were doing over there, my brother. But who am I? Salute to my brother Graf, though. My brother Graf is up out here gonna have a night on the town, man. He's gonna get in his R&B bag tonight, man. Salute to my guy. The most breaking news: Garrett is planning to take Gino to dinner before the game. What a classy guy. AOC MVP incoming. The most, get the F up out of there with your crap. Yo, my guy, heading out to this 112 Total Case concert. Y'all have a blessed night. That's right, Graf. Have a good time, man. You know what I'm saying? Go have a few drinks on me. Have a few drinks on me, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Go sing the songs very badly, because I know that's going to happen when you get drunk. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy your night, man, with your woman, brother. Salute to my dog, Graf. He said, I changed him. Yeah, man. You know what, Graf? Those are dope, man. It's just that has to be the focal point of the outfit, because it'll be too much red. So it's like, yo, you put them joints on, you know what I mean? Some solid colors, like a white t-shirt or something. You know what I mean? And then bring the colors in somewhere else very, very slightly, my brother. But yeah, man. But yo, salute to my guy, Rudy the Vet Russo. Yo, I'm effing tired of having to go through this bullshit every year, man. The coach gets fired. The team gets passed up by top coach and prospect. Teams hires useless coach. Draft day debacles. Dave Wheeler, look, man, I can't argue with your sentiment, right? But what I can say is this, man. The only thing we can deal with is what's going on now, right? And what's going on now, before I get into my diatribe, I have not had my coffee, and I'm wondering why. I am wondering why my wife, I'm out here grinding. I'm out here grinding the live out. Live on. We have 200 people in the room so far. Get Wasted with your brother Wasted. And Mrs. Wasted has let me down yet again. Oh, my God. Thank you. Let's say nah. But yeah, man, it's hard to say. It's hard to stay positive. We're all rated out. And Grab hit it on the head right there. We're all rated out. But listen, that is the reason why I've been pacing the lives right here, right? So it's not mock draft season. It's not mock draft season, right? But
Blame Wicked. I was in a Wicked strong.
you're in a Wicked straight. I bet you the coffee is freaking ice cold too. Thank you, sweetheart. Man. But yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's the K cups right now, man. I'm cool. But look, man, let's really get into this, right? Let's get into this. I am of the estimation when I listen to Pete Carroll's delusions every week from these press conferences, man. I think that the Raiders and Pete Carroll cannot continue to go forward, and there are a lot of people in the media that have the same sentiments. Now, in NFL Spotlight with Ari Merov had an article speaking of, you know, the sense that he's getting. The sense that Ari is getting is that the front office and the coaching staff are not eye to eye right now. And it's not just that. That's a problem. But let's make this clear. Every team has that. Every coach is thinking about here and now, and every GM is thinking about here and now, right? But also the next year and 2 years and 3 years down the line, Merov continued. When you're talking about a 74-year-old coach, that's a whole different ballgame. So that dichotomy has been fascinating to follow all year, and I think something is going to happen at the end of the year. So listen, it sucks, man, when you have a fan base of people who had these sentiments before the season even got rolling, right? Before the season even got rolling, we had them sentiments, right? And it just does not make sense for this to continue forward, right? You know, Pete saying we got to win now, and now we're in a situation where we've dug ourselves a hole so deep that, you know, it pales in comparison to the Grand Canyon, right? Or the other way around, right? And there's a disconnect, and you can see it, right? And there's a disconnect in the way this roster is being built. And I'm getting the sense that John Spytek, in many ways, being Brady's right-hand man, is the guy that's going to win this power struggle. And Brady's role with the Raiders is going to make John Spytek more comfortable, right? And I think that this is going to be a grand opening, grand closing, right? So if Carroll is not here, we're going to be in the market for a quarterback. There's going to be no Gino Smith here after this, right? And this Browns game is really, really, for me, right? And we're going to get into breaking this Brown game down. This Brown game is a game that is very, very telling, right? Because if you lose this Browns game, being, you know, 2-9 with some of the things that have happened in this league, now you're in dumpster fire territory, right? You're the worst team in the league pretty much. You have a bunch of guys that are out there playing like Caillou Blue Kelly and Stone Forsythe that have brought here because of Pete Carroll, probably at the behest of John Spytek. And I'm gonna be real here, man. This game is going to be very telling right here. And it's not telling in the sense where if they win, you're going to start looking at who's who and what's what. But I think it's going to be very telling because I think the higher the Raiders get up the draft board, the more appealing the job gets to incoming coaches. I think that the worse that the team is, I think the competitor in Pete Carroll might want to stay, but the businessman in Mark Davis, the businessman in Tom Brady won't be able to allow him to stay because he took a team, went out, spent $60 million on a quarterback, and now the team is somehow worse. The offensive line is somehow worse. Now, listen, I know, and salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted. This is the opening monologue, right? I was on JT the Brick show yesterday. I was on JT the Brick show yesterday, as I am every week. And we spoke about this, and we spoke about Pete and his loyalty to Gino. And I think that loyalty to Gino is what's going to seal his fate here. Gino Smith against the Cleveland Browns is definitely going to be an issue because Gino Smith, for whatever reason, is allergic to the check down pass. He has been allergic to the check down pass, and we need to be straight up here, man. The mentality is what is getting him sacked a lot of the times, right? Now, when you talk about these teams, both of these teams are on losing streaks, man. Like the Cleveland Browns have lost 3 straight in 6 of their last 8, and the Raiders have lost 3 straight in 8 of their last 9. So these are teams that are free falling right now. Neither offense averages 17 points per. The Browns are averaging 16 points per game, right? The Raiders offense has scored 16 points last week, one above their average, with only one team putting up fewer points than them per game, right? So the Raiders are right at the bottom of the league. Myles Garrett is threatening an NFL sack record. The guy has 15 sacks in 10 games. That's an amazing pace, man. He has 7 more games to break the sack record of 22 and a half. He has 11 sacks in his last 4 games. 4 of the 5 sacks in 2 of those games, respectively. And Max Crosby has collected his 6th QB takedown in the strip sack last week. So Max Crosby starting to heat up, right? So now we're in a situation where this is a duel of defenses, right? And if we're going to talk about a duel of defenses, I think the Cleveland Browns have an abject advantage over us because Myles Garrett is the best pass rusher in the National Football League. I love Max, but Myles Garrett is the best. And then you got Mason Graham up front. And you have a situation with Carson Schlesinger, where that guy is going to be rookie of the year. He's a tackling machine. He is looking like a generational middle linebacker, right? And Cleveland has a pretty decent secondary. So now we're in a situation where the Raiders giving up 31 sacks is like the 4th highest in the league. And you have a guy that's on a tear that he is like Myles Garrett. We're in a situation, man, where this is the unstoppable force against the unmovable object. Gino Smith is good for at least 1 interception a game, 1 drive-killing, soul-crushing turnover a game. And when you have a Myles Garrett coming off the edge with a piecemeal offensive line, this looks like it could spell disaster for the Raiders. And I think that, win, lose, or draw, if the Raiders lose at home and it's a bad loss to a bad football team, somebody is going to have to get fired on Monday. Somebody is going to have to get fired. And I think for Pete to try to preserve his job, he's going to have to throw somebody in front of the train. He's going to have to throw somebody under the train, man. He might have to throw him under the bus. You might hear the train but somebody is going to get thrown under the bus. I mean, my God, someone will be thrown under the bus, man, if the Raiders lose this damn game, man. Salute to everyone in the chat, man. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. My guy, Slim Reaper. Gino's fuck you mentality, knowing he's going to remain QB1, and there's nothing fans can do about it, is really starting to piss you off. Bro, it's beyond pissing me off. Listen, bro, and I've been speaking about this for weeks. It is not the fact that Gino is struggling, right? Because players tend to struggle. Everybody goes through slumps in their careers. Everybody, it's a new situation, new offense. He doesn't have the level of support that he had from an offensive standpoint, as far as from a wide receiver standpoint, that he had in Seattle, right? DK Metcalf is a one-on-one kind of guy, right? But the problem is the fact that we've been hearing competition all year. Competition, compete. Oh, we're going to be competing at this spot. Oh, we're going to be competing at this spot and that spot and the other spot. Everybody's gonna be competing. Jackson Powell Johnson gonna compete. Max is gonna go out there. He's gonna give his best. We want to play Tyree Wilson. We get him some snaps, but we gotta get there to get some competition going on here. Caillou Blue Kelly's playing over Darian Porter, and they're gonna compete. Even though we drafted Porter high, he's got to compete. Why the fuck doesn't Gino got to compete? Why? Explain it to me. Like and this is the thing, right? Why does Gino not have to compete? Why are his sons not being moved around? Why are the Raiders in a situation where they're only willing to make changes when the guy that we all know should be center is hurt? Now you want to make changes. Johnny come lately kind of thinking, isn't it? So guess what, guys? I'm going to be real with you, man. I don't see this game going well because of the matchup, because we have such a porous offensive line that couldn't block Myles Garrett on their best day, and now they are at their worst. This is going to be bad. Dave, debauchery man is on, because the other QBs on the roster are complete trash, and that shit isn't an accident, real shit. And bro, and I have to think right now, we got to transition a little bit, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When we start talking about quarterbacks and who's on this roster, there's one man that is going to be playing this weekend that should probably be on the Raiders roster, right? And that's just me, just being for real here, right? And it's Shadeur Sanders. Now, a lot of people, and Shadeur is a lightning rod, and there's a lot of people who don't like Shadeur Sanders. There are a lot of you guys in Raider Nation who, anytime we mention Shadeur Sanders, it turns into an argument and some referendum on your knowledge of football, right? I've had people on this show that claim to be, college football experts, and they claim to know this and that, and they love this quarterback and that quarterback, and sometimes they just try to be different to be different, right? But what I know about Shadeur Sanders is he's well worth the risk if you're not taking him in the first 2 rounds. And I think that the Raiders shot themselves in the foot and a chance at just having someone on the roster to develop that could possibly turn into something special, right? The fact that, quarterback is the premier position in this league, and they're not willing to even take a swing in the mid rounds is a problem for me. And that needs to change. I think you should be drafting a quarterback almost every year till you get it. Right? And now he's on a team that really doesn't want him, that had a young quarterback, that has a logjam at quarterback. They have a superstar quarterback that's actually hurt right now. They have a situation where, we don't know what the Browns are going to do with Deshaun Watson, right? So they had a logjam. And the Raiders, being in the situation that we've been in and not having a franchise quarterback since Rich Gannon, right? And everybody says DC was pretty good. And I'm not going to shit on DC, but it wasn't like, MVP level shit like Rich Gannon was playing at, right? We have not had that in a long time. And you should have probably taken a swing on the kid for a cheap price, because taking a guy in the 4th round as young, it's either he works out, or if he's like kind of on the fringe, there's nothing that precludes you from drafting your guy the next year. So that's the biggest problem that I have with this. And now we have to watch this kid come into the building prepared, week's rest, with a defense that's going to give him the ball back. And we got to watch it. We got to watch this kid start his career against us. And he's probably going to have a damn good game, because he is very, very accurate. He is very, very accurate. Very accurate. And listen, Shadeur could poop the bed and crap the bed, but I don't see that happening, right? I don't see that happening. But the thing is that you have to wait. So Dave's on. Think about it is this, right? Says who? right? Because a lot of the things and the narratives around Shadeur were coming from the New York Giants and Brian DeBoer, right? And if we're being honest, right, the National Football League wants a certain kind of guy at quarterback. This is the same league and the same people who said that Lamar Jackson should be a wide receiver and he can't play. This is the same people in the league that say Patrick Mahomes needs to stay in the pocket more. It's the same league, bro, that made Warren Moon go and play in Canada for years and years and years, right? So now all of a sudden, Shadeur Sanders is the next guy. He's the next guy. But it's not just because of his interviews, bro. I think a lot of it is, I think, and I admit, look, I'm a big Deion Sanders fan, but Deion Sanders made a mistake by talking too much. And I think that there's this sentiment in the National Football League that they always need to show you who is really in charge. Who's really in charge. They don't ever want the common folk to feel like they are the ones who are in charge. They are the ones who control the narrative and what's going on. So I think there's a lot of that. But to say that his interviews were totally atrocious and intentionally so, yeah, he did it to himself. You don't know that, Dave Zahn. You don't effing know that. And the biggest problem that I have with it is that I think what people are upset and shocked and dismayed are people that do not like some of the things culturally that Shadeur Sanders brings to the table. They don't like, the swagger. They don't like the hip hop shit. They don't like the diamonds, and they don't like the fact that he comes from generational wealth and he's flashy. They don't like that shit. But these are the same people who don't have a fucking problem with Jackson Dart and with Cam Scatterbo doing the same shit. So we got to ask ourselves, what the problem is with Shadeur Sanders, right? The problem with Shadeur Sanders is, and I'm going to be real, is that they don't like the fact that Shadeur Sanders is not coming in and bowing down and acting all, humble and all shuck shit. He's a cocky motherfucker. He's cocky. And he should be. Because he's good. And he grew up with money. And he grew up with a rich dad who's an NFL legend. And everybody says he screwed himself. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he screwed himself. I think that Shadeur Sanders is right in a situation he needs to be. Because the good thing about sports is that all of that shit goes by the wayside if you play good. All of it goes by the wayside. And I feel that there are a lot of people that are just rooting against the kid. And I would love to see him go and take all the narratives about him not being any good and sticking it up every single one of your asses that don't like him. But I just don't want it to happen against the Raiders this week. I'm not saying he's going to be great, but you can't tell me that Shadeur Sanders is not better than fucking Dylan Gabriel. You can't tell me that a kid that played at the level he played in college wasn't worth a shot. And that the kid that we got on our practice squad is a better player than him. You can't fucking tell me that. And yeah, he went 4 for 16, right? He coming off the bench. Yes, he did. It's one fucking game. Now all of a sudden, he went 4 for 16. Who the fuck cares? It's his first game. Now he's going in with a game plan. Let's see how he plays this week. And if he lights it up, win, lose, or draw, then what? And when you talk about what level he played at, they had a team that won a couple of games and he went in and had double-digit wins. Everywhere they went, they turned the program around. And you can see how bad Colorado is without Shadeur Sanders. I mean, they brought in Cam Miller. You mean to tell me they couldn't take a flyer on a guy who half of y'all never even heard of Cam Miller before we drafted him? And see, that's a big thing that's a big thing for me. If you can move in the pocket and you're accurate and you're tough and you can process well, I'm not saying when I see Shadeur, and I don't want to turn this into the Shadeur episode. We're a fucking bunch of Raider fans and we're playing against them. But don't sit up here and tell me that he's some guy that is not worth kicking the tires on. No, don't tell me that shit. The fuck out of here. Don't tell me that. Yo, my guy Mustard. I love the Raiders. I know they'll never cut me. They probably should. Yo, my guy Sweet Jazz with the $10 holler. Glad to hear you on JT the Brick Show this week. Build it and they will come. The QB, the coach, got to be paired up like peanut butter and jelly. Who is Carroll going to pair up with at his age? Probably nobody. And I think that the Pete Carroll experiment has failed and failed miserably, right? Because of the fact that if Gino Smith was playing at a level that was respectable and we were losing, this is something we can work with. But the fact that Gino Smith is making $60 million and he is playing worse than Jimmy Garoppolo was when he was here, that is an issue. And then the thing is that Pete is an older guy, and it is what it is. And people try to act like age ain't nothing but a number that don't matter, but it freaking does, man. It matters. It matters. And I think listen, for me, I would like to see Pete do the right thing and say, man, this is not lining up with my timeline. I would like for him to go back to USC and get his class back and go back to teaching and get out of the National Football League, because it's putting a stain on his legacy, if we're being honest. My dog, North LV Lowrider with the $2 slapperoon. Take the under at 36 points. This is not the Sunday show with Big Mike Raider, my man. This is not the Sunday show. We will talk about it and break that down later. I am not giving this away. This is not the Sunday show, man. My guy, CGR, appreciate you, Wasted. Keep up the good work, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. I needed that. I'm not sure whether I'm doing a good job anymore, man. The ratings are down. You guys are not showing up. You guys are not getting wasted with your brother Wasted. But you know what? I am very, very blessed, right? I got 300, almost 400 people in the room talking about a 2-18, man. So listen, man. Gino Smith threw another pick against the Dallas Cowboys, right? He's thrown at least 1 in 3 straight games in 6 of his last 7 games, right? And we're dealing with a situation where we got a guy that's a turnover machine. We have a defensive end that is a wrecking ball. We have a linebacking core and a secondary in Cleveland that is legit. And this is the sum of all fears for me, right? Now, we got to break down and mitigate how we're going to win this damn game, yo. And I know this is a low energy episode right here, but listen, let me tell you something. Your brother Wasted has a lot of energy. I have a lot of energy. I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. And I just want to ask something, guys. Gino Smith throws an interception. We heard all through the offseason how well Aiden O'Connell was playing. Some people say that he wasn't around to compete. Aiden O'Connell was competing and was doing well in camp, right? But I want to ask you guys something. If Aiden O'Connell is on the sideline and he's suiting up and his staff is going to play him, not playing, but he's available to play. Do you play Aiden O'Connell if Gino Smith starts to turn the football over? Do you? I'm just asking. Do you play Aiden O'Connell? Because this is the thing. The offensive line is bad. Aiden O'Connell can't really move, right? But the one thing Aiden O'Connell has learned, because he's never really had a good offensive line, is the fact that he has to get rid of the ball. Do you play Aiden O'Connell? Guys, give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat. If Gino Smith throws an interception early, do you bench him and play Aiden O'Connell? I need some feedback from the nation, y'all. I need it. What do y'all think, man? We got ones up in here, man. Ones. Yo, my God, a one and only Dark Mark. Aiden O'Connell is a statue in the pocket. He'll get pummeled behind the line. I mean, bro, he's been a statue. And he's played for some bad offensive line. He's done all right. He's done all right. So do you play Aiden? Because listen, at the end of the day, most of us in this chat, right? We understand the Raiders can lose, right? We get it, right? We understand this isn't the best roster, right? But what we don't want to watch is bad football. And I think that Gino Smith and the way he's playing is just in a trajectory where the football that we have to watch on a week in and week out basis becomes horrendous because of the soul-crushing, drive-killing miscues from him. Now, it is not all Gino's fault. There are a lot of plays where people are in his lap soon as he gets the ball. But there are other plays where you can take that momentum back. There are other plays where you can check the ball down and move the football. Right? There are other plays where he can run and get the first down. There are other plays where he can throw the ball out of bounds and live to fight another day and not put the defense of the bad down in distance so that they get tired and get scored on and dog walked. I'm just saying. I say 70% of this shit is Gino's fault. Wavy twin. I say 70. God damn it. 70. 70. 70. 70. 70. 70. 70 fucking percent. Playing like a goddamn bum. Listen, JT has been doing his thing a long time. What I would tell y'all is this, man. Salute to JT the Brick. Great man. Appreciate him. Don't come over here talking trash about JT. You leave JT alone. The man works for the Raiders. He loves the team just like we do. He's entitled to his opinion just like I'm entitled to his opinion. But the one thing, if I am nothing else, wasted talent is a loyal motherfucker. And I know I shouldn't be cursing because this is a family effing show. I don't know why. I don't know what's gotten into me. I think the team is so bad that I just don't give a damn. So you guys gotta watch. I gotta watch my F is wrong with me. But don't come up over here with your crap disrespecting the great legend of Raiderdom. You leave JT alone. Don't bring your shit over here with that. It's a family show, God damn it. I mean,
the tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing.
My God, the F is wrong with you. And thank you, Big Mike Raider. I don't know what the F you're doing. Donating 10 Raider Nation Unlimited gifted by Wasted Talent, making the Wasted Talent Army grow and grow. Big Mike, don't do that. Appreciate you, Big Mike. Congratulations to the newest members. Everybody, salute to the great and powerful Big Mike. But what I will say is this. You say he was mad at me. Listen, he might. I don't think it's that, bro. This is what we do. This is what we do. We are not trying to make the banter an echo chamber. We got to go back and forth a little bit, man. It's not, we big boys here, man. Salute to JT, man. You guys come on my show, and I'm not going to talk about this is the Wasted Talent show. But this is the thing, though. Guys, the man works for the team. He's at the flagship. He's got to defend the honor of the Raiders at all times. Me, I love the team. I'm a fan of the team. I am a pundit of the team. I have access that certain people don't have. But at the root of everything for me It's about me telling the truth because it's my team and I love the team, bro. And I wouldn't be me if I didn't tell the truth, man. That's just me. It's who I am, yo. I'm a stand-up guy. But don't disrespect that guy. Salute him. I appreciate him. And I want you guys to support him. Support JT, man. Support the team. You don't have to always agree, but go support that guy. Appreciate him. Support my guys. Support everybody you see me on screen with. Support him. Go support Jason Fitz, too, because that was a great interview, man. Wasn't it? I mean, my God, that was a great interview. Go support our guy, Jason Fitz, too, man. And Wavy, I am too, man. I'm sick of this. Because what happens is this shit brings the worst out in the nation, bro. We're backbiting, we're fighting, we do the woulda, coulda, shoulda, who we should have kept, who we should have drafted, who this, who that. And it's better when we're winning, bro. Because a lot of this shit is very hard to offend. My brother S. Dot is in a place. If it's not the offensive line's fault, majority, how much of a percentage fault is it as far as Genty in the run game? 70%? Yes. Listen, the thing about a quarterback is this, right? Quarterbacks are the trigger man. They know the whole playbook. Like when they asked Gino about checking out of plays and stuff, Derek Carr would check into a run play when it was advantageous. He would check out of a play that was bad. He would throw the football away, right? Then you're in a situation where, you can get the defense on their heels a little bit by the play call you play. Most of this shit is the offensive line. And when you talk about Genty, my God, the guy, when you block for the kid, you can see the talent. I am not harping over the Genty pick. I'm not harping over it, bro, because, the Raiders have a chance to right this wrong with the offensive line in free agency. And if I'm being honest, I would rather the Raiders go out there and go get free agent linemen because I don't have the faith that if Pete Carroll is here with his sons, that they're going to do the right thing by some of these fucking guys that they bring in here. You guys are making me cuss again. It's a family show. What the F is wrong with you? It's a family show, damn it. I mean, my God. I have to start unceremoniously blocking people. Be in this damn show. Said the nation owes AP an apology 100%. I don't necessarily feel that way. I just feel like they picked wrong. I think the right decision was to move on from Antonio Pierce. I don't think the right decision was to move on from Tom Telesco. I think they should have let Tom Telesco hire his coach. But I didn't think AP was equipped to be head coach of this team. I'm tired of the Raiders trying to shortcut the situation. Just because Pete Carroll isn't working out doesn't mean that Antonio Pierce was the person we should have kept. I'm sorry. Look, I think Antonio Pierce might be a great coach, but I think that you got to prove your mettle a little bit more, right? You got to do a little bit more. And I know he was gifted with this team, and he did a really good job. But I think that happens with interim coaches. That has notoriously been what happens with interim coaches. They come in, they give a shot in the arm to the team because the team wants to get rid of the other guy, and they play out of their mind. And then once everybody comes back to earth, it's the Joe Bugle effect. I just think that the Raiders are in a bad spot. And if they're going to continue to lose, right, they have to go about this very, very gently. They do. Because firing Pete Carroll is going to make them look terrible, right? Chip Kelly is making $6 million. It is clear Chip Kelly's not the answer. Chip Kelly should never work in the NFL again. It is clear he is not the answer. It is clear. Third Eye with the $5 slap-a-room. He goes, listen, never wanted Carroll here. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. Didn't either. Yeah, and some people say that, right? But look, and salute to Fitz, right? listen. I think the Raiders can take several different players, right? And there's not a one size fits all metric for how you can make the team win. I think that the Ashton Genty pick is a pick that you have to evaluate in another 2 years. The Armin Mimbu thing is something you got to evaluate in another 2 years because you guys are saying, well, because of this year, the year ain't over yet, right? Genty's okay. He's doing well, right? So how is that Ashton Genty pick going to look if you get an offensive line and he starts rushing for 1,700 yards? And he's catching the football. He's receiving the ball. Then you're going to like it, right? There's a lot of people who were pissed when we took Josh Jacobs until he started getting loose. Why are we taking a running back in the first round? This is the problem. You guys want it all now. Sometimes shit works immediately, and sometimes it takes a little point. But the Raiders have to get talent all across the board, no matter what part of the ball it is. And there's not enough of it on the offensive line. And there's not a one-size-fits-all metric to how to build an offensive line. It's not a one-size-fits-all policy. I just want the Raiders to have good players and to draft good players. I'm telling you right now. And listen, you guys want to become a member of the Wasted Talent Army, make sure you do that. I mean, my God. Checkmate. Hire the Rams DC as head coach and the Rams OC as OC. I mean, you want to get somebody from the McVay family tree, right? My God, Sweet Jazz, I am definitely looking at getting a free agent in the O-line. We drafted 2 third-round linemen that can't get on the field. And see, this is what we need to ask. Why can these men not get on the field? Why not? Why not? Coaching issues. I think it's very disingenuous to talk about competition, and you have Alex Kappa starting over 2 young guys that probably win, lose, or draw, whether you think they're ready or not. You should put them out there because you got to try something different. You got to get these guys snaps to see what you got. Because where are you in the offseason? Do they have anything? Do they have anything? Are these guys that you can move forward with? You have to answer those questions. You have to close that circle. You got to close that circle. My guy, saw Chip's pressure saying he doesn't want linemen playing when they're not comfortable. What the fuck? Do we let Spy off the hook? We did 0 with that line. And no, because I'm going to be real with you. And UA Mel, who the fuck cares? Whether it's 6 or whether it's 25, it was a first round pick. Who the fuck cares? It is a first effing round pick. Who cares? And like I said before, you have to evaluate it once the season's over, once the next season is over, and once the next season after that is over. Because, like, God bless you. Because let me tell you something. If the Raiders take this kid, say this year he winds up with 700 yards and a couple touchdowns and shit, he comes out next year and he balls out. I'm not going to hear all of this shit. If the Raiders go out and they go get Tyler Linderbaum and they go get another tackle or something like that, I'm not going to hear it. I understand why they didn't take another tackle, right? I like DJ Glaze. I think he's a good player. He's a friend of the show. I think they can develop him. They knew at left tackle they were cool with Colton Miller. They were willing to re-sign Colton Miller. He's one of the better tackles in this league. You got a young Jackson Powers Johnson. He could be guard and or center. If you want him to put him at guard, put him at guard. You got Caleb Rogers there for depth. You can go out and go get a guard and a center in this draft and make this line something special. I have 0 issue with picking Ashton Genty. I think that had we not taken him and he went somewhere else and ran crazy, you would be up here saying, why didn't we take Ashton Genty? I just don't want to hear that. I'm tired of the Raiders not trying to reinvent the wheel. I love that shit. You get the F up out of here with your crap, hell, rel, Mel. The F up out of here. There is no way that these 2 rookies could have played any worse than the crap that was put on the field Monday. This is poor coaching. This is poor coaching, poor decision-making, and it's a poor metric for who's in charge and who's not effing in charge. CTE Pete, loyalty is the worst. Loyalty to the worst players on the team. Gino Smith, Stone Forsythe, Caillou, Blue Kelly. Cut them all to that. Yeah, these are all, and I think that's a part and parcel of the reason why the Raiders are not getting any. They're not getting any leeway from the fan base. They're not getting any grace from the fan base because the guys that are out there constantly getting disrespected and just effed on are guys that Pete brought here. So we all know a luxury is a luxury pick. You don't put the cart before the horse. How did it work out with McCaffrey in Carolina? How did it work out with Saquon in the New York Jets? Bro, I understand that, right? But sometimes you got to take the road less traveled. I'm not looking at this as a pick that's a bad pick. I think you need a running back. I think people are trying to make football too complicated, trying to get away from getting running backs. I want the Raiders, no matter where it is, to draft talented players, guys who are super productive in college, guys that are stars. And I think Genty has star quality and can be a star. Just like, I'm going to be real with you. Like if there's a linebacker, people say you don't take linebackers in the first round. Why the fuck not? Why not? If the guy's a superstar player, we just need star players here, bro. We need guys that are check marks, that are good picks. This is what I want. This is what I want. I believe you can fill in the gaps in free agency. You got to have the money. You have to have the free agent class. You have to have the wherewithal and the people in the front office. And you have to draft well everywhere. The Raiders are going to need 16 to 20 new players on this team, bro. And one of them aren't going to be Ashton Genty. The Raiders need to tell Coach Pete Carroll to his long overdue retirement. The game has evolved, so there's no room for stubborn senior citizen head coaches that sabotage the team. He's not sabotaging the team. He's not sabotaging the team. He is a guy who thought things will work one way and it's not working out. That's not. Hey, wait a second. Can you Google tackle Kayden Proctor, legs, squat max, his height, and tell me what you think he would be the perfect guard? Yeah, I've seen some of Kayden Proctor, people talking about him. Bro, I just look, I know a lot of times you have guys that come into this league and people project them to be guards, but I just, bro, I hate moving guys from their position. I mean, look, Kayden Proctor is balling. He's at freaking Alabama. You know, he's playing at a tough school, man. Would he be a monster of a guard? Yes, man. I mean, a guy, but I think Kayden Proctor is not a guard. I really think he's a tackle. I mean, the guy's 6'7". He's 6'7". I haven't seen many 6'7" guards as that. I would rather Kayden Proctor be a tackle. 6'7", bro. At guard, he's a tackle to me, bro. He got long arms. Kayden Proctor is a guy that can come out there and feed families for the next few years, bro. He is an absolute monster, bro. Yeah, he's 350. I get it, but he can move though, bro. He's actually 360. He's actually 360, man. He can move, man. Proctor can move, man. I mean, yo, he's an Outland Trophy semifinalist, man. The kid can move. I like Proctor, man. I like him at tackle, man. I personally like him at tackle, man. I mean, you don't like him at tackle, X-Dot? I like him at tackle, bro. I like him at tackle, man. I mean, he is down there. You know, I've seen him hold his own against the best of the best, man, at tackle. He's a big dude, man. Big dude. Yo, he's a junior. He's not super old, man. I mean, he's college football's most physically imposing tackle, man. The big dude, man. Man. Big dude, man. I mean, and the things that is an issue with him is like hand placement and stuff. you know, and he needs to learn his technique a little better. But to me, he's a tackle, my brother. Yo, if we on a clock, do we take Caleb Downs? Bro, I'm just at the point where if somebody's on a clock for the Raiders, man, and they're a monster, good player, take them. And that's me, man. Now, getting back to the defensive matchup, man, like the Cleveland secondary is coming off of a pretty strong showing, man. You know, they held Lamar Jackson to a season low 47 passer rated, no touchdowns and 2 picks. The Browns have held tight ends, and tight ends have kind of been the bane of the Browns defense existence, and that speaks well for Brock Bowers. I got Brock Bowers having a big game for the 4th lowest in the league. So tight ends have 8 when it comes to the Cleveland Brown defense. And the Browns have given up 102 passer rating to wide receivers, man. There's only 7 teams allowing a higher passer rating. So this is a not Jacoby Meyer, but this is a Trey Tucker special. I don't think we're cursed, but I'm starting to think that Mark may have sold his Raiders soul for Allegiant to join the other rich owners. Bro, Mel, I think that it's a very layered thing, right? I think that the Raiders, and the reason why the Raiders have been a bad organization for a long time, is that whoever the owner is for the team has been saddled with a situation where they're constantly have to focus on things other than football. Like, yo, it's hard when your focus is all over the place. When you got to focus on stuff other than ball, this is what happens. When you got to focus on, the Bills, you got to focus on where you're going to play. You got to focus on the city and fighting and going to court and all of this shit. It becomes a problem. And then now there's all these peripheral things with the Raiders when we came here. Everybody's like, oh, a home field, a home field, a home field. Yo, California wasn't going to pay for the Raiders to get another stadium. Like, yo, he didn't have the money. What the fuck you want the guy to do? He did what he had to do. And I think that it's unfair that guys like Tommy will say he only cares about tapping baddies. Did you see his tweet? Just because the man, the man is up there sowing his royal oats, like Prince Hakeem of Zamunda, right? Does not mean he doesn't care about football. Just because, he wants some of those baddies in Allegiant Stadium to treat him like this man does not mean that he doesn't care about winning. And I'm not some Mark Davis apologist, right? But the thing is this, when you got to worry about other shit besides the game, this is what happens. And I want winning too, Tommy. I want winning too. But let me tell you something. If you had $1 billion, you would be trying to win football games and tap baddies. And you got to understand something. If the foundation of having a good football team is what, everybody? What do you guys think the most important thing to having a good football team is? Having the ability to pay players well. Having the ability and the facilities that players want to play at. Having a facility that is nice that they want to work out in. Having the best of the best of medical staff. Having the ability to hire good coaches. And having the ability to be viable in free agency. This is how you win. And that hasn't been the case. So when we go back to Oakland, we didn't have a shot. We didn't have a shot. It's a smart play. Yeah, it starts from the top, Tommy. And I think the only problem and the only fault I can find with Mark is that somehow, some way, he is getting in the way of the coach having the right kind of control, right? And the control that a coach should have is control in the locker room, in the field. But he shouldn't have control up there in that GM office. And the biggest mistake he has made is not having a GM with final cut. And when we did have a GM with final cut, we had a team that was competitive and was a playoff team. And if Derek wouldn't have broke his leg, we probably would have won a playoff game or two and possibly gone to a Super Bowl because Reggie McKenzie was firmly in place. That is the biggest problem. And the thing is, there are a lot of people who say that. I don't believe it to be true. I believe the Raiders can win, bro. I believe the Raiders can win. And yo, the Raiders have been here for 5 years. Money not an issue. Making bad decisions is the issue. Making bad decisions 100%. But I think that there, and I've said this a million times, and I don't want to go off into the Mark Davis apologist shit. But there are a lot of teams in this league, man, and there's only some that win. And when you look at teams like the Miami Dolphins and stuff like that, you got an owner in Stephen Ross that don't give a shit about winning. You have certain teams who only care about getting that NFL TV money. Seriously, the fact that this guy loves this team and wants to win is, to me, the foundation right there. The fact that he has the wherewithal and the money to pay people, great. The fact that he's getting headhunting companies and stuff like that to help him out with what he doesn't know about ball is a good thing. He's just got to make the right hire and move the fuck out of the way. But I think the biggest problem is not having a GM with total say and control. Seriously. And when you say losers spawn losers, Al Davis wasn't a loser. And he spawned Mark, so don't do that. And that's the thing. I can't complain about Mark either. He's trying, bro. He's trying. I think he's going to get it right, bro. If we bolster through free agency in the draft, Jordan Meredith doesn't start anywhere else in his league but here. I think Jordan Meredith is a hell of a backup. He's a hell of a utility player because of his positional value. But to me, Jordan Meredith, if Jordan Meredith is starting, you have a bad offensive line. If I'm being honest. No disrespect to Jordan Meredith, right? I like Jordan Meredith. He tries very, very hard. I just think that in this league, trying very hard when you got to go up against the likes of Chris Jones and Myles Garrett and fucking guys like that, it's trying hard ain't enough. Jordan Meredith is not a starter to me. Tom Brady didn't spawn Cam Miller. Cam Miller's parents spawned him. Yeah, like Tom Brady fucking shot that boy out. What the F is wrong with you?
Gorilla looking smelly bitch. Motherfucker. You.
My God. The F is wrong with you, man. Al was a good owner in the 70s and 80s. After that, tell me the high points. I'm listening. My opinion, listen. We understand the history of the Raiders. I was there. Al Davis was fighting with the league. And then for you to sit up here and say he was a bad owner when he had a team in the Super Bowl in the 2000s is disingenuous. When he went out and drafted Charles Woodson, he drafted Darryl Russell and all them guys, and he went out there and brought in Derek Burgess and all these guys. He drafted Nnamdi Asomugha. Being an owner and having a fight to move the team back, he was always constantly fighting with the NFL, and you cannot, multitasking is a myth. Something is going to suffer. And then the thing is that, even trading John Gruden, right? Even trading John Gruden, I believe that, it was the fact that John Gruden went to a ready-made situation that Tony Dungy was about to win with anyway. Trading John Gruden wasn't the worst thing in the world had he not traded him to fucking Tampa Bay. That was just a terrible mistake. But don't sit up here and act like I was just this bum, and don't act like, you know, even in the Jeff Hostetler years that the Raiders didn't go to the playoffs. The Raiders weren't no dumpster fire. Like, we was in an AFC Championship game in 1990. You forget about that, or you weren't a Raider fan then, or you weren't around then. Don't sit up here and shit all on Al Davis, bro. I won't have it. I won't have it, man. I won't effing have it. Don't you talk about the great and powerful Al Davis. You effing
Gorilla looking smelly bitch. Motherfucker, you got me fucked up. You ugly.
Man, you a bitch. You a bitch.
I mean, my God. You sit up here talking about Al. The F wrong with you? Said Mark is not invested in the best player because if he did, this team would be winning. I'm not saying this to offend. What are you talking about? Mark Davis ain't picking the players. Mark is an owner, bro. He is there to make money and sign checks. The problem is him not hiring the right people and putting the right hierarchy in the organization. That's it. I'm sorry. Game Tight, this is a family show. This is a family show, man. I am so sorry. Tell the kids that Uncle Wasted says hello.
God! Wow!
I mean, my God, this is a family show. This is a family show. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for the crap that we are spewing right here, man. Salute to the kids, man. Salute to them. I mean, my God, man. Salute to them. Salute to them, man. But listen, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Being that this is a family show, right? I have to start bringing the train back in the train station. I have to. Being that this is a family show, man. $1993? No, it was 1990, bro. 1990 against Buffalo. We got dog walked. Was that 93? No, it wasn't. Because 93, trying to remember, 93, because the year we won the AFC Championship game, it was Buffalo and us, and Buffalo lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl that year. And I think that was like 1990, right? And 93, I think that was Dallas in the Super Bowl in 93. I think Dallas was in the Super Bowl in 93, right? And it was Buffalo again. We were in the playoffs in 93. I think 92, 93, that was Houston and Buffalo. And that's when Frank Reich came back on the Houston Oilers. That was Houston and Buffalo. Yeah, it was 1990. Yeah, Bo got hurt. I remember that vividly. It was 1990 going into 1991 when we lost. I remember that because my father was still alive. Yeah, man. Yeah, Buffalo went 4 times. Yeah, Buffalo lost to Dallas. God bless you, honey. Bills Giants Super Bowl. Yeah, I was a Whitney Houston national anthem. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, some people in the chat weren't even born in 1993. Yeah, they weren't. Houston, Buffalo. Yep. That was the AFC Championship game, though, bro. That was the AFC Championship game. Houston and Buffalo. That was the AFC Championship game. That wasn't the wild card. Yeah, they weren't, bro. The Bills weren't cursed, bro. The Bills just had a problem where, you know, the Super Bowl they should have won and against the New York Giants. That was the problem. They lost that Super Bowl and that was their win. But they played, you know, like the Washington team was a really good team. You know what I mean? And I think the Bills just choked up and they got in their own head. But I think the Bills were the better team against Washington and the New York Giants. But the Bills were not the better team against the Dallas Cowboys. The Bills were not the better team. They like when you look at Buffalo, right? They weren't the better team. Dallas was the better team, bro. Like, because you look at the skill position players, right? All right, there's a debate to be made there, but the level that Michael Irvin was playing at that time and him being able to push off and do the shit that he could do, you know, and having Alvin Harper and all of those guys, you know, I would say it's a push because James Lofton was at the end of his career. Andre Reed was at the height of his powers, so it's a push, right? But Alvin Harper was a beast. You talk about running back from a running perspective, Thurman Thomas was phenomenal, but he wasn't, you know, Emmitt Smith was, and I'm not an Emmitt Smith guy, but Emmitt Smith was the better back. You talk about tight end, Jay Novacek was a better tight end. You talk about quarterback, Jim Kelly, Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman is a better quarterback than Jim Kelly was. He was a better quarterback. And then we talk about defense, you know, Charles Haley, Bruce Smith, I would probably get at the Bruce, but Charles Haley wasn't far off. But the rest of that Dallas defense, bro, Leon Lett and all of them guys, you know what I'm saying? And yo, you start talking about, you know, the Cornelius Bennett and Darryl Talley and all of them guys. They had a great linebacking core, decent secondary. Dallas had a better secondary. You know, Darren Woodson and all those guys, Dallas had a better secondary. But where the Dallas Cowboys won those Super Bowls and why they were a better football team was that Dallas offensive line. That offensive line might have been the greatest offensive line ever assembled. Eric Williams, The Kitchen, Nate Newton, Mark Toulonnet, fucking Larry Allen, and Larry effing Allen. That Dallas O-line was the reason why I think Kevin Gogan was there. It was the offensive line, bro. It was that offensive line, and Emmitt Smith would run the ball down your throat, man. Look, UA Mel, we can debate that all day, right? But Emmitt Smith was better than Thurman, bro. Now, was Emmitt Smith better than Barry Sanders? No. But Emmitt Smith is the all-time leading rusher in this league, bro. He is. Was Thurman Thomas more versatile than Emmitt? Yeah. But Emmitt Smith as a runner was a better running back than Thurman Thomas, bro. Emmitt Smith had more yards than him in college, in high school. It's not just that he had a great line. Emmitt Smith was Emmitt Smith, man. He was a great running back. I fucking can't stand Emmitt Smith. I did not like the way he ran. It was boring, but it was effective. And he was very hard to tackle. He was hard to bring down. Was he better than Barry Sanders? Not, never. But I can't say that Thurman was better than Emmitt, man. I can't. And Thurman was really, really good, man. He was great, but he was a distant third to those guys. And it was some years where he wasn't even the third best back in the league. But the consistency was that Barry and Emmitt were the two best backs. There were times when Neil Anderson, yeah, he had an all-time O-line, but don't act like Thurman Thomas had a bunch of scrubs blocking for him. The Buffalo Bills, if Dallas had the best offensive line in football, the Bills had the third or the fourth one. The Bills had a damn good line. And Emmitt was better than Thurman Thomas, bro. Like, it's yo, you say Bo was better than Emmitt? I can't say that. Bo had more talent than Emmitt, but Bo, you know, Bo, you can't just say that. We want to put Bo in his rarefied air. I'm going to tell you who was better than Emmitt Smith. Marcus fucking Allen. Marcus Allen was better than Emmitt Smith. I don't give a shit what nobody said. I'm not just saying it because he's a Raider. Marcus Allen, had Al not played with his career, Marcus Allen probably will be the all-time leading rusher. And Bo as an athlete was on another level, but Bo played baseball. It was a very short time. You can't just say that the all-time leading rusher, right? You can't do that. Like, Bo didn't play long enough. And I love Bo. What O-line players are you keeping an eye for in the draft, bro? There were a lot, man. They're Spencer Fano, all of these guys. Spencer Fano's the one guy. Yo, we're gonna do our draft breakdown. I don't want to give a little bit away because the season is careening out of control. And if we have a situation where the Raiders lose and we're gonna start covering the draft, man. Yo, if Bo doesn't get hurt, we might have. As a talent, there has never been a talent like Bo Jackson anywhere in football. S-Dot, we talked about Kayden Proctor, bro. I just said that Kayden Proctor is 6'7", he's 366, and I don't think that he's going to make a good guard. I think he's a better tackle. No, and Al messing with 32 was stupid, and it pisses me off. Stupid, and it pisses me off. But we don't know what happened. And thank you for the $10 slap-a-rooney, my guy. Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith, that's not even a debate. It's Barry Sanders twice on Sundays. It's not a debate. I think Emmitt Smith know what time it is too. Barry Sanders is the greatest running back damn near ever. Now, if you talking about Barry Sanders or fucking Walter Payton or some shit like that, that's a different debate right there. Barry Sanders or Marcus Allen, that's a different debate. I think Marcus Allen is a greater back than Emmitt Smith. But Barry's the best ever, bro. He the best I've ever seen. You said is Bo better than Barry? No. No. Because he didn't play long. Did he have the ability possibly to be better than him? Yeah. Yo, there's another guy that I want to put in the comment, like guys like Earl Campbell and shit. But yo, Barry Sanders is the greatest running back to ever play. I don't give a shit what nobody said. Do not ask me again. I just said, will he be a good guard? I think he's a better tackle. I think he's too tall. He's 6'7". The F. Barry Sanders on the Cowboys should have been illegal. Yeah, man. The championship game was in Buffalo that year. It was like 2 degrees minus wind chill. Said Barry Sanders had some of the greatest 2-yard runs in history. Yeah, man. Factual, man. You said Emmitt Smith was an accumulator. Emmitt Smith used to catch the ball out of the backfield a lot, bro. And I'm not an Emmitt guy. Stop making this like an Emmitt Smith thing, bro. But Emmitt Smith caught the ball a lot. Like, don't like try to minimize Emmitt Smith because he wasn't Barry Sanders, bro. But Emmitt Smith was he was a great running back, man. Emmitt Smith in 1990, he had 24 receptions, 228 yards, 49 receptions for 250 yards, 59 receptions for 355 yards, 57 receptions in 93 for 414 yards, 50 receptions for 341 yards. Like Emmitt Smith has 3,000 yards receiving for his career. Don't do that. He wasn't the greatest receiver, but you know what I'm saying? He wasn't terrible. Fucking guy had 50 catches and shit like that. Don't say that, he was just some fucking bum. Like, bro, a lot of catches in his career, bro. A lot of catches. 3,000 yards receiving in his career. It's just Emmitt Smith is just, as a runner, he's kind of boring. I mean, and Emmitt played longer than Barry, but, Barry doesn't have a 50 reception year. Barry has 2,091 receiving yards in his career. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was that dual threat thing because this is a different era, man. This is a different era of football, man. It's a different era. Eric Dickerson wasn't a guy that Eric Dickerson wasn't a guy who caught the ball a whole lot. These guys, because this is a era where, running the football was paramount. Running the football was paramount. It wasn't like guys like Marcus Allen, where every year Marcus Allen would have, 68 catches, 64 catches, and shit like that. Like Marcus Allen had 5,000 yards, receiving in his career. That was a lot. My guy CGR with the 5 Raider Nation Unlimited. Oh my God. Thank you, bro, for making the Wasted Talent Army grow in droves. This has been a crazy live, man. I haven't really gone over the game as much. I did because I think Graf and I are gonna get together and do a breakdown with that back and forth action. But this is just a live we needed, right, guys? Yo, my God, Demos, you should check out the NFL Stock Exchange. They made a rebuild on the Raiders, and it was pretty good. You know what I should do? I should check out what I'm doing, you effing bum. My guy AC Yavara, born in 73. I remember Super Bowl 15 and everything since. That's right, my guy. Salute. My guy. No effing cussing. Arvell Reese, baby. Yeah. Arvell Reese is nice, man. Yo, my guy. Fupa Trooper became a YouTube member. Oh, my God, man. Making the Wasted Talent Army grow in droves yet again. But guys, listen, I think it's about time to wheel the train in the track. Tomorrow, we're gonna Graf and I are gonna do a breakdown. We're gonna do a Graf and Wasted show, man. I think it's about that time. I think we had such good banter today, man. This was a decent show, man. It's a decent show, man. The Beast Coast is in the effing building. You know it. I mean, guys, let me ask you a question. Did you guys enjoy the show? I'll take Ruben Bain too, bro. I love Ruben Bain, bro. Herschel Walker was a damn good, great. He was a damn good back in college. Guys, did you guys enjoy the show? If you guys enjoyed the show, put a 1 in the chat, man. Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the show. If you didn't, then you do what you got to do. Wasted is Craig Robertson. When he plays the DJ and they ask for a request, he plays something else. You're damn right. If you enjoyed the show, give me a 1 in the chat. And if you didn't, you can get unceremonious. What? F is wrong with you. Everybody's saying they enjoy the show. Classic Man Q is saying, get the F up out of here. Leaky T, you didn't enjoy the show? Gulags for you, Leaky T, you effing bum. Talking 90s football. 1, that's right. 2, terrible show. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Leaky T, terrible show. Block! You go to the Gulags on the way out, Leaky T. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Listen, man. Love every single one of you. Leaky T is in the Gulags for the end of the show. We never knew ye. He will be brought back. Yeah, he was ready to go to the Gulags. Yo, man. Salute, y'all. Listen, tune in. Sunday, we'll be rocking and rolling. Tomorrow, we're going to go over the game, the Graf and Wasted show, the Wasted and Graf show, whichever way you like to slice it. Leaky T is going to be in the place. And I think it's going to be a great show. But, I mean, if you guys are ready, I mean, I know you guys like the new rebrand of the Graf and Wasted show. I know you guys love it. I know you do. But, guys, you guys have a terrific night. I am going to go sit down. I think I might go have a meal with my family. Love every single one of y'all, man. Do not disrespect my brother, S. Dot, in the place to be, man. Come on, bro. Come on. We love our guy, S. Dot. And yet, Classic Man Q, who the F is you, fam? Shout out to my guy, S. Dot. Shout out to my guy, Raider Jeff, yo. Shout out to everybody in the place, man. Tomorrow we will be back with the Grab Away show. We'll do more of a breakdown tomorrow, but this was just a good show to talk ball, man. Sometimes we got to do this, right? Listen, if you guys are listening to me and you guys like talking ball with the great and powerful Wasted Talent, and you're a watcher and you have not yet subscribed, or you're in the Raider group on Twitter and you have not yet subscribed, I want you guys to go over there. It costs you nothing to subscribe to Raider Nation Unlimited. It's needed in the nation right now. Seriously, man. And listen, guys, if you guys got to blame anybody, you got to blame anybody, right? If you got to blame anybody for doing a damn good podcast, put the blame on me. If you got to blame somebody for your food not coming out of the restaurant the right way and you sending it back to the waitress and somebody spits in your burger, blame me. If somebody is banging your girlfriend, blame me. Blame me, because it could possibly be me. Oh, man. Salute to y'all, man. Salute, y'all. Y'all have a terrific night, man. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace, man. Oh.